Hey, and welcome to the WeightCare Podcast, where we're going to be having conversations about a new era of weight management and GLP-1 weight loss medications. I am your GLP-1 fact fairy, Sharon Polsky, and I will be hosting this podcast. This podcast is really designed so we can dive deep into the fact versus the fiction around these new weight loss medications. These are been known as skinny shots and things like that. They were made popular by the Real Housewives of Orange County and the Kardashians. And there's so much misinformation out there on the internet that we wanted to try to bring in some experts to have a conversation about these GLP-1 weight loss medications so you can decide for yourself whether they are right for you. Now, let's be honest. They aren't right for everybody, but it's important for you to be informed so you can decide whether or not they are right for you. Some people think it's some quick fix. They're not a quick fix. They take a tremendous amount of lifestyle intervention for you to do it right and not only lose the weight, but keep the weight off. There's also a lot of misinformation out there about side effects. There's misinformation out there about losing too much muscle and you're not really losing body fat. None of that is true. But you have to get the facts somewhere. And so we want to bring those facts to you. Every one of our episodes of our WeightCare podcast are going to have a 10-minute introduction where I'm going to talk to you about what the subject is. So for instance, it might be PCOS and using GLP-1s to combat that weight gain from the insulin resistance of PCOS. And then I'm going to bring on an expert that's going to help me discuss that and bring some light to how GLP-1s help with that and let you decide whether it's right for you. We're going to have amazing experts and amazing topics like PCOS, menopausal weight gain, the use of GLP-1s before cosmetic surgery, like liposuction, using GLP-1s instead of something invasive like bariatric surgery, using GLP-1s for weight maintenance, things like that. And then we're also going to have a panel of GLP-1 users that are going to join me and tell you about their personal experiences so you can kind of sift through the fact versus fiction. People ask me all the time why I am so passionate about weight loss. I've been a weight loss coach for over 20 years. I have done it the quote hard way. And let me assure you, using GLP-1s is not some shortcut and it's not some easy way out. You still have to focus on sleep. You still have to focus on exercise. You still have to focus on nutrition. They aren't some magic wand that just takes the body fat off of you. But in my over 20 years of being a weight loss coach, they are the biggest game changer I have seen in my lifetime. The reason I became a weight loss coach is because not only have I struggled with my weight my entire life, but my mother had a very, very extensive battle with weight loss her entire life. So as long as I can remember, my mom was on some Reader's Digest diet and they never worked for her. And my mom tried calories in, calories out. She tried the apple diet. She tried vegan. She tried carnivore. She tried paleo. She tried Atkins. And all it did was make her health worse and worse and never really took the weight off or made her able to keep the weight off. So I had always decided that I wanted to try to bring real information to people and be an accessible and affordable weight loss coach to just mainstream population. You don't need to be rich to get access to information. You just have to want to be informed. And then I remember, as young as I can remember, weight was always a struggle for me. So I was never overweight by overweight standards, but that was because I worked hard at it 24/7, 365 my entire life. And then I hit menopause at the age of 50. I'm 51 now. And a doctor introduced me to tirzepatide, or GIP/GLP-1. And it was the biggest game changer for me personally that I had ever tried. One little shot, and I was no longer thinking about food. I could keep the weight off of me. And here's what's fascinating. I was somebody who never got to eat Mexican food, never got to eat pizza, had doctors tell me that's not true. It's just calories in and calories out. You're lying to me. I had coaches tell me that I was lying to them. If I say, well, if I eat a cheeseburger, I'm going to gain weight. They'd be like, that's not true. You must be overeating. Well, it was true. And I know that there's so many of you out there that are like, yeah, that's true for me too. I used to say to people, I couldn't eat an apple without gaining weight. I couldn't look at a cheeseburger without gaining weight. All of that is fact. I had tried to fix my metabolic system many, many different ways and nothing worked. This, using tirzepatide, was the first time in my lifetime I can eat an apple every day. I can have a roast beef sandwich on occasion. I still probably only eat them once a month. And I can have a scoop of ice cream once a month and I don't gain weight and I don't have to go back to the gym. So I am like all of you out there that have struggled with it. And I know it's not calories in and calories out. So I want you to know that A, you're not alone, and B, there is something out there for you. Now, does semaglutide work for everybody? No. Does tirzepatide work for everybody? No. If semaglutide doesn't work for you, can you use tirzepatide? Yes. If tirzepatide doesn't work for you, can you try semaglutide? Absolutely, yes. You have to figure out what combination works for you. And so that's why I'm so passionate about this WeightCare podcast, is because we are going to be bringing that factual information to you so you can decide for yourself what way you want to go. And I want you to think about the podcast as being like a toolbox. So the podcast is your toolbox, and all of these episodes are the tools inside of that toolbox. And you are going to use each of those tools to build your health the way you want to build it. So I look forward to offering you lots of tools to help you build your health, and the WeightCare podcast is your toolbox.